Hey guys, this is Chodaros, and today's tutorial is on this beautiful new design. It is called the Ambient Spark Bracelet, and it was designed by Polyester Jane. So welcome Polyester Jane to my YouTube channel. How exciting it is to have new loomers designs. So this one is made off of a 4-pin bar setup. It is super easy and it is extremely versatile. Meaning, if you look at Polyester Jane's Instagram account, you will see a completely different rendition of this bracelet. As a matter of fact, I have just a little one that I did here. As you can see, it looks pretty much like completely different. And Adele Griffiths, she had also done a rendition and posted it. So hers looks completely different as well. Many possibilities. It does not require bling. I decided to add the bling just to give it a different look. So there is a male version, and this one is the like a bling version, and then Adele Griffiths had done I think more like a rainbow color version. So this one was done on 2 looms, and I will need just a little bit as an extension. Okay, so let's grab our supplies and get started. Okay, so we have a 4-pin bar setup. All pin bars are at the same height. I'm going to go ahead and do 2 full looms. So look what I just found. You see Waldo? See that pin bar right there? It's backwards. Ask Jace Alvarez. Him and I have both many moons ago loomed a bracelet with 1 pin bar backwards. It's not fun. Okay. So what we want to start out with is just a simple, we all know how to do it, border. Okay? So I'm going to use these Sweets Brown. I'm going to attempt to make this girly. Polyester Jane, her original rendition or another one that she had made, is super awesome dudified version. Adele made a gorgeous, like a pastel, colorful rendition, and I am going to try to make maybe a little bit of an elegant one. So, taking my time to make sure my bands are somewhat straight, but you know the deal. This runs all the way up both sides, all the way to the end of your loom, and then turn them in so they meet towards the center. Okay, so we'll finish that up on our own, and we'll meet back for our next step. Alright, so our border is all the way complete, and we leave the space here in between these 2 middle pins. So I know this isn't the best rendition, but I just want to show you as far as color. The next bands that we're going to be placing are what I have here in the gold. So they're just visible on the sides. Not very much on the back, but the sides. So I'm going to try to do like a garden theme. So we want to start out and go from the outside pin and then going to the center like that. And then we want to do the same going back out the same distance. Okay, so we're essentially making an arrow pointing in skipping a peg in between. And then we just repeat that all the way up the loom. Oh, is it nice to use opaques? Gosh, look, no twisting. This is how MS, or Expert Looms, gosh, she's like insanely talented on adding bands. And she can throw them on in no time. She's a good girl, very talented. All right, that's what we're doing. We're doing that all the way up the loom. Okay, just that zigzag pattern. So do that all the way up to the end, and then we'll start the third step. Okay, so now we are going to place these diamond shapes going up our loom, and that is what's going to make this chain link effect. So I did it all in one color on this one, and today I'm going to do it in 2 colors. I'm trying to think. I guess it would be, yeah, just one side, one color, and I was thinking about doing them together, but we'll just do every other. Okay, so I'm going to use these baby pink sweets, I believe they are. We're going to start from these 2 center pegs, and I'm going to place this one going out to the left. Okay, so whatever color I just used, I want to use for the entire loom as far as the zigzag. And then our next zigzag that we're going to place is going to be on this left center pin going to the right. Okay, so they're crossed right there. Now we have a little cross here because we have this arrow band that we placed coming and meeting right there in the center. So let's go back to that first band that we placed, then we want to go forward with that one. So we want to place that band going out to the right, and we don't have this arrow band meeting right there like we did here, so we want to take it all the way out, and it's going to crisscross that arrow band. So that completes that side. So then we want to come back down to this color and do the exact same for the opposite side. Okay, so when you have your arrow bands coming in, you're going to have a small X. When you have your arrow bands on the outside, you're going to extend that all the way out. Okay, so I want to go back to my first color, and I want to diagonally go in and go all the way to where that arrow meets right there. Come back on this side and do the same. Okay, so you can see that just made our next small X, and then you have this large diamond that was shaped there. Okay, then I come back down and we repeat, running this one out to the edge, and then this one, whoopsie, to that edge. Okay, so as you can see how my colors are running, that they're all going to crisscross in the chain when it's all said and done. So just follow this pattern and you'll be good to go. Okay, so that's what it should look like. You can see it repeating itself. Small X, big diamond, small X, big diamond. Okay, so we'll take that all the way up to the end of our loom. All right, our zigzags are all the way up our loom. This is so beautifully colorful. Okay, so I've never done this bracelet yet with bling, but right here in between where your chains cross, in between, we have these holes. So I think I'm going to try to put some bling there. But if you try to do this, make sure that you put your bling facing down. And why is that? Because our final step to this bracelet is to add 2 center chains going up, okay? And then we loom those out. They don't get loomed up straight, they get loomed out. and that's what we see right there. So that shows me that this bracelet comes off the loom face down. So if you're going to put some bling on, you want to put it face down. So if you're going to do that, you want to put it where those arrow heads meet, right there. So it would be inside each diamond. So that was our first diamond, and then we have an X, and then right here where our arrowheads meet again, and it's an open space, that's where I'm going to put my next bling. Now this one has 2 openings, so I have to put it on a certain way so it doesn't twist. So I want to put one in like this, and I'm going to twist this end and put it on like that, and then that will ensure that it will be straight down there. Okay, so then I go up to my next space and do the same. So if I put that one on like that, see, if I do it the same, it's going to want to go like straight. So I have to twist this. So it will lay flat. Okay, so I have 1, 2, 3 left, and I don't have them all. I think I have to add one more band. Nope, that won't work. I need it to go down. What are you doing to me? That one doesn't want to. Okay, so I'm going to place my next 2, and then after that we will add our last set of bands and loom it out. Alrighty, all of my bling is placed. So last step is just to add 2 single chains down the 2 center pin bars, okay? And this is going to be that background color, that black in there, that's what it's going to be. So I think I'm going to go with the brown again, and just the same as I did with the border. So simple, simple. I think we're all good to go. We know how to add these single chains. They go all the way up to the last pins. And then we are going to add a cap band around those 2 last pins. So that is what our plan is. Let's go ahead and finish that, and then grab your loom hook because we're going to start hooking. Alrighty, so we turned our looms around. We have our single chains down the center, and I'm going to put a cap band on both of these 2 pegs here, like that. Okay, so remember how I told you that excuse me, that the front of the bracelet is facing down? Well, that's how we have to loom it. We're going to loom the diamonds out first. So even though that this single chain is on top, we're going to loom out these diamonds. So we want to start with our, let's see, top band. Or I'm sorry, start with our bottom band. So I'm going to start here on the right, and I'm going to go underneath that cap band and underneath that band that's going forward, and grab this band here and take it over back to itself. So my next one is going diagonally to the right, so I want to grab that one as well. And take it back to itself like that. So yes, it is going to crowd your bands that are going forward, but that is okay. And just going to follow the pattern the same as I laid the bands. So I'm always having a band to go under. It's that center chain band to grab this one. And then I take this one back to itself out. And then I'm going to go back in here and grab this one and take it back to itself, which is to the right. So come back down here to this next color on this side, go through that single chain band and go out to the right. Next band to the center. Okay, so we're looming the one on the top first. So then I have to grab this one and move forward. And then I can grab this one and go forward. Okay, so if you're just watching on which one is on the top, you'll know which band to pull next. So then this one comes next. And back to itself, and just follow the pattern up the loom. Okay? Excuse me. So as long as you're pulling the band that is on top and you're following the pattern that you placed, let's go ahead and finish that one, and then we'll start our next step. So our next step will be to loom out these bands that we placed. In my case, they're the green. So you just want to start on either side, go underneath here, and grab that band, take it back to itself. So you can either go up one side and come back down, or you can do both sides together. If you did bling, as I did, I'm not grabbing the bling bands at all. I'm just looping the bands around them. But as for the center, that's the last band underneath. Our next step is to loom up the center chains, but this is the, as far as the bottom band in the center rows. Okay, so let's go ahead and finish this up, our loom, and then we will meet back for the next step. Okay, so we have all of those loomed up. We just have 2 more sets of bands to loom, and our next will be the center chain that's going up. So in my case, it's my brown sweets. So because we loomed a lot of these bands, we did put some pull on them. So they're not going to be teardrops by any means, but they're going to not be loomed straight forward. They're going to all be loomed out to the side, exactly where we have, you know, some of these other bands here. Okay, so we want to come down in here and grab this one. It doesn't go forward. It's going to go out to the left. And this one's kind of an awkward, it was a little bit awkward there. So this band has to be the last band to pull. And if you notice it is not, then you have to watch to make sure your bracelet's not going to fall apart. Let me see, where is my band? That one's a little crooked. There we go, that's what it should look like right there. Maybe I looped those couple first ones wrong. Yikes. But it should loom easily like that for you. Uh-oh, that was a bling bond. So the brown one is above my bling band, but I did catch my bling band in another looping, so I'm holding my fingers that it works. Okay, so let's finish that all the way up, and then our last step will be to come back down and loom out our border. Alright, so lastly is our border, which I accidentally started already, but you just want to take your bands that are on these center pegs, loom them out to the corners, and then a simple border is looming the last band on the outer pegs straight forward, which shall close everything up on your bracelet. So you really want to make sure that all of the bands in the center are loomed out, and if you look and you happen to see any that you might have forgotten, you just have to loom them out to the outer pegs excuse me excuse me, before you go ahead and loom this border. And it may be out of pattern, but at least it won't fall apart. And I also went ahead and loomed up the bling bracelets out to the sides. I just wanted to see if it would give it more stability. Okay, so once you get up to the end, you can loom this last one in to this peg here. And then I come back down and loom up this side. Okay. Goodness, excuse me. So once you get to the end, we have that band that we placed in the beginning. So then we just want to go down and this peg, I'm going to attach my C-clip and then reach down inside of this peg. and grab the other end and attach. Okay, so that is on, and I am pretty sure I might be able to pull this off the loom. Maybe if we get it started a bit here. It's not a tight stitch that would compromise the design. Just carefully. So I'm pulling up and back. There we go. We pulled it off the loom. Oh, I think Polyester Jane is going to love it. So, I love it. It is awesome. The beads came out perfect in those holes, like that little bit of a gap that's in there. The beads came out perfectly in there. This one's a little bit loose. So, all I'll need to do is just go through and fix up some bands, pull out my border, and do some untwisting. So if you use specialty bands, you may find you need to do the same thing. As far as the design and what I was trying to personally go for, it worked. I love it. Very, very pretty. Kind of looks like pink camouflage. So, very good job. This is Polyester Jane's first original design. So, bravo, sister. You did it. You did a good job. So I hope you enjoyed this tutorial, and I hope that you will share your renditions with Polyester Jane and I on Instagram. Excuse me. Love to see if you guys do incorporate any bling. Obviously, it just gives it a different look, but is not needed at all. If you would like to just add something to your bracelet and do not want to add bling or don't have bling, you can always grab a band and do a triple cap band just to add a little bit of a different look. So, thank you so very much for joining me, and make sure that you stay tuned because we have lots more coming. So, until next time. Bye-bye.